Now that is a nice hat. We ended the 40k Nova Reveals video by looking at some Khorne Berserkers, so we're going to start out with some Chaos for AOS with the Gore Chosen of Dromm. And this is actually for Nethermaze, technically. It's not for AOS, but you know what I mean. It's all the same thing. So this is just a quick look at this band, right? We have 3 absolute units. Firstly, that is one of the best hats in Warhammer. I'm just throwing it out there. I think that is one of the best hats that Games Workshop has ever made. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's massive. It's wider than he is. And I'm 100% on board. It's also just really quite a cool model. The horn belt that's going around there. The hat itself with, again, more horns coming out the side. Also, he's got horns in his face. There's a joke to be made here about the number of horns, but I'm not going to make it. You can just make it yourself. Overall, I just really like the feel of this guy. There's just something extremely menacing and, I guess, kind of primal about it. I just think that's a fantastic looking model. That's one of those ones where I look at it and I'm like, I really want to paint that. Same goes for the other 2 as well. To be fair, the absolute unit in the back left there, again, nice horn motif going on around there. What the hell? Gigantic arms. What looks like chains embedded in one of his wrists. He's got like growths and stuff coming out of the skin. That lad has taken one too many steroids, and it really shows. I'm pretty sure that's not how steroids work. I don't know. I've never tried them. Tried them? Tried them. Like it's something that you do a sample of. Either way, that is a chunky looking unit, and I really, really like it. Especially the skull helm that's halfway over the face there. Oh, that's menacing. That is menacing and grim all at the same time. Fantastic. And then we've got another skull helmed lad on the other side with the fiery hammer, the fiery thing on his back. I mean, it looks like some sort of demonic blacksmith, which is fantastic. Also, not all that shredded, not all that ripped when it comes to the old upper body there. Instead, it looks like he's got a bit of a metal corset arrangement going on, and I can respect that. That is a man who wants to get out there, wants to do a bit of fighting, hasn't quite got the 6-pack down yet, but you know what? He's not going to let it stop him. He's out here living his best life, and he's making a statement, and I respect him for that. That's the kind of body representation I want to see. That's far more relatable for me than someone with perfectly defined muscles. Yeah, give me a lad who looks a bit like a loaf of bread. That's my personal chosen style. It's not really chosen at all, but that's just how it's ended up. Overall, this is a solid looking warband. This looks really, really good. But they're not the only chaos-based stuff that was shown off, because we also have new Chosen of Chaos for Age of Sigmar. And, oh dear, these are tasty. These are real tasty. I love the armour. There's quite a lot of decoration going on, but I don't know, that kind of the chainmail under the breastplate on the dude with the massive axe I really like. The helmet is especially nicely done. The way the hair kind of wraps around the horn there, I like that a lot. We've still got a few silly touches like big old horns coming out of shoulder plates, which I actually really like for these. The axe is especially nice as well. The kind of infernal runes that have been carved in, they've painted them glowing on there, but yeah, these are some good looking units. There's some really nice armour going on and some really, really brutal looking weapons. I like these a lot. We've got the lad with the drum. Also looks like he could probably beat someone to death with the drumstick, which is always a nice bonus touch there. There's also a nice mix of kind of styles where some of them have got kind of exposed greaves or kind of over the shins, and some of them have got like a bit of cloth or kind of almost like a boot arrangement going on. Which, again, I like those bits of personalisation, those kind of bits of individual style that pop through with these. It's one of those things that's really nice when it comes to Chaos, where you can have a bunch of guys who are ostensibly dressed the same, but they all have just a little bit that makes it theirs, you know? Got another terrifying colossal axe there, which I really like. I love the massive two-handed weapons. They're ridiculous. They're bigger than the people holding them, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. Now, these two, I have to say, might be my favourite of all of them. There's an attitude right there that I absolutely love. Very angry, extremely angry. But yeah, I almost feel like I don't know what it is about the lady with the giant hammer there that really really kind of screams corrupted Stormcast. I don't know why, but it just feels like it. It just feels like it, and I couldn't really properly tell you why that is, but I love it. I love that. That's great. They look so good. I think all of them are like busy but not too busy. There's enough iconography and there's enough kind of fancy armor stuff going on that you can immediately identify them as chaos, but they don't look like they'd be a complete nightmare to paint. The weapons are all really nicely sculpted. They all look extremely brutal and evil. The runes that have been carved into them work super well. There's a good variety of helmets and bare heads. I just think they've done a great job with these. For my money, these just look super intimidating. They look strong. They look like an immovable force almost. Like you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. If they came for you, that would be it. There would be nothing you could do. And I don't know, I really like them. I think they've done a really good job with them. Now, shifting away from Chaos, we've got this, the Bloodpelt Hunter, which is a new ogre. It's a new ogre, like an actual... I quite like it. And admittedly, there's one thing I don't like about it, which is the arrangement to keep the antlers on the helmet. Now, I know ogres aren't the smartest of lads. They're not necessarily, they're not necessarily writing great works or doing great research. But I would have thought if you're trying to hunt things, you could at least do with some mild form of depth perception. Just something. I get what they were going for, but my first thought was, that dude cannot see anything. There's no way that he is successfully hunting with that on. On the other hand, the rest of this model is pretty cool. I like the crossbow. The crossbow looks good. The bolts look sufficiently brutal and cruel. All of them hooked in some way, not necessarily very well barbed when it comes to like how they've been shaped, but someone's done their best there. I like the trophies that are hanging off him. That looks really cool. The fact that the head of that lizard. I say lizard man. Is it a lizard man or is it could just be a random creature. Could be a lizard man. Is being used as a quiver for the bolts. That's a really nice touch. I like that a lot. I love the bandages around the legs, kind of keeping the trousers tucked in. The furs look cool as well. Yeah, overall, this is a cool looking dude. It really feels like the ogres. They've got a lot of old models. Really, they could do like a significant update. This and that chief they released a while ago, they are both good looking models. Got a nice close-up of some more of the trophies as well. That hand is very well sculpted. Well, both of them. The one holding the stock of the crossbow is well sculpted, and so is the one coming out of that bag. Now, that's surprisingly grim, actually. I really thought that the head was just a head that was hanging off the belt, but no, it looks like it's like the latest kill that is still being carted around, because it's been chopped in half, basically. That's a nice touch. There's some nice detail going on here. It looks super rugged. Super mountain man ogre. I really like that. Even little things like the fact that you've got that hatchet on the back there. I don't know, it feels like there's a lot of attention to detail with this guy. So he's going to be showing up in the new battle toad for the Ogre Moor tribes, which is going to come out same as the Sons of Behemat in autumn, which does admittedly put to bed the idea that it was going to be a joint battle tome. I did see that floating around. And I can't remember who said it, but someone said that they were going to be merged into one battle tome called Dads and Lads, which I was all on board with. If they'd done that, I would have been well happy, but no, it's still separate, which is fine, I guess. King Brodd is here. King Brodd has arrived, and he looks pretty decent. I have to admit, I have a concern. I have an immediate concern, right? This is an additional sprue in the Mega-Gargant kit, which is already an expensive kit, and that is going to push the price of that kit up a little bit more. But that's just a little concern where it's like, well, what if it makes that kit cost even more? That'd be a bit sucky. It wouldn't be great. But King Brodd himself, I think overall looks pretty good. The big maul that he's got is fantastic. The giant hammer. The fact that it's basically just a tree with a bit of cloth, some rope wrapped round, and then it's just had this massive lump of what looks like a pillar from a giant building, but then with metal hammered into it. I really like that a lot. That is a really cool, brutal weapon. It looks a bit more sophisticated than what the other Mega-Gargants have got, but it's also really not at all sophisticated in any way, which is I think, the right balance to strike. The dragon head helmet is fantastic. The little red things are creepers. They like braid their hair and ride them into battle and stuff, like paint war paint on them. Weird. Really weird. Fun, but weird. The horns themselves, I'm not 100% sure about, because I'm not sure how they're on there. It just looks a little bit strange because they're covered in they're covered in that leather. It's a little bit difficult to see how they attach. They look okay. They look alright. I'm kind of 50-50 on them. I think because they go up so high, they sort of mess with the perception of where his shoulders are. They kind of give him the look of being even more hunched over than he actually is, which kind of spoils the momentum of it a little bit for me. But a lot of the time with stuff like that, it's like an angle thing. Like once you rotate the model, you can see it from different points. It tends to fix stuff like that. So I'm not going to judge it too harshly right now. Oh, look at the detail on that face, though. Look at the detail on that face. That's a well sculpted. That's a well sculpted mug right there. That is a well sculpted mug. Absolutely ugly as sin. It looks fantastic. And that close up of that maw, like it's such a brutal, like, clumsy as hell weapon. I love it. Yeah, I'm really liking him. I'm liking King Brodd. Overall, I think he looks pretty good. Question is, what do you think? Do you like him, not like him? Think he looks decent? What about the rest of them? What is your favourite thing out of the AOS stuff they've shown off for Nova? Let me know it in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things. Patreon video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you'd like. There's also one for Noble Night Games if you're in the US. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.